After surpassing the United Kingdom and France in the Global Power Index, India takes yet another lead. India is now poised to become the third largest global economy by 2027-28. Not just that, India has now officially reached the staggering figure of $4 trillion economy. And with this, India maintains its position as the world's fastest growing large economy and fifth overall. According to the latest projections, India's real GDP is predicted to hit $4.3 trillion in 2025, which is just marginally below Japan's $4.4 trillion in fourth and Germany's $4.9 trillion in third spot. With the growth trajectory as it stands now, India will surpass Japan in 2025-26 and then Germany by 2028 to become the third biggest, making its position even stronger in the global economy. The latest statistics from the International Monetary Fund or IMF shows that Indian economy has doubled in just the last 10 years, with a growth record of 105% to reach 4.3 trillion from 2.1 trillion between 2015 and 2025. The growth is exponential and ranks India as the fastest growing top 10 economy, even surpassing the growth rates of both China and the United States of America. Now, compared to India's 105%, US recorded a 66% GDP growth, with China's economy also increasing by 76%. In comparison, the United Kingdom had a moderate growth rate of 28%, while France is at $3.3 trillion thanks to a 38% increase. Despite sanctions and a 3-year war, Russia's GDP surprisingly is also increasing by 57%, almost on par with the likes of Australia and Spain at 58% and 50% respectively. Now, France's economy offers a very interesting contrast with India's stellar rise. France's GDP was $2.4 trillion in 2015, outpacing India's at $2.1 trillion. However, by 2025, France's economy has reached $3.3 trillion, with India soaring to $4.3 trillion, and its economy is now about 30% larger than that of France. Similarly, UK's GDP was standing at 2.9 trillion in 2015 and has now reached 3.7 trillion in 2025, but now trails well behind India. 10 years ago, India was the world's 7th largest economy, but since then it has overtaken both former colonial powers, UK and France, to become the 5th largest economy. At a GDP growth rate of over 6.5% in 2025 compared to Japan's 0.3%, India will surely take the 4th spot over the next few months. But overtaking Germany will still take a little more time. With Germany's GDP at 4.9 trillion in 2025, India will surpass it by 2027-28 and become the 3rd biggest global economy. Now, one cause of concern remains is the per capita income, which is still low in India, but a larger GDP will surely fuel per capita growth over time. However, India is still considerably behind the top 2 economic powers, the United States of America and China. As of 2025, China's GDP has increased to $19.5 trillion, roughly 4.5 times that of India. However, China's growth rate has seen a slowdown in the past 10 years. While India's GDP growth has risen by 105%, China's economy has expanded by 77%, marking a consistent shift in growth momentum. Similarly, China is far behind the United States, which remains the global economic leader with a GDP of $30.3 trillion, nearly 1.5 times that of China. As the US economy continues to develop at a consistent rate, it will keep its number 1 position well into the future. However, India's economic growth has been nothing but phenomenal. It almost took 60 years for the nation to achieve a $1 trillion economy in 2007, but thereafter the pace has accelerated. India doubled its economy to $2 trillion from $1 trillion in just 7 years. Then in 2021, despite lagging behind schedule due to the pandemic which emerged from Wuhan in China and then crippled the global economy, India still reached the $3 trillion economy mark, and within just 4 years from that, it has now added another trillion to reach the $4 trillion milestone now in 2025. Looking ahead, India is poised to add $1 trillion to its economy every 1.5 years, with projections showing it can become a $10 trillion economy as soon as 2032. Now, this will lead to more businesses, greater manufacturing, increased services, and eventually better salaries and per capita growth. As India crosses the $4 trillion milestone, the ruling BJP party lauded the achievement, attributing it to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's decisive leadership and bold economic reforms. But have your say. Can India become the top 3 global economy before 2030? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.